morning, guys. Today is Monday, April 6th. It is insane how fast this year is going by already. We are headed to the gym right now. It is 9 o'clock. We were up late last night. I was working on some editing. It's so hard to get up. I was up last night until close to midnight. And I really just, if I don't have work, today I don't have work until 3 p.m. and I've got 4 clients this evening. I just don't find it necessary to wake up at 5 in the morning and do that. And you know, at that point I'm just gonna be fried all day. Part of me is like, the whole purpose behind the waking up early and training early is so that I can be with Sienna and Caitlin more during the day. And then the other part of it is, if I wake up early having gone to sleep at midnight, I am going to be absolutely shot all day. So it's either like the grind hustle lifestyle and then sacrifice the energy to give to Caitlin and Sienna, because no matter how much you say, oh, you just do it, that doesn't mean you do it well. Just because you say, I'm gonna wake up and do all these things, be up before the sun's up and train and then be home, that's ideal, that's what I want. However, I am also aware that as a father and husband, I have a responsibility to do my best when I am with Caitlin and Sienna. I mean, I'm gonna do my best all the time, but do my best with Caitlin and Sienna as far as the energy and the attention for them. I did not wake up mega early. Obviously throughout the rest of the week I have to. I've got 7 a.m. clients Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but today I'm gonna give myself a little bit of freedom. Sienna is going to gymnastics right now. We need to stop and get gas desperately. Gas is insane. Gas is, I mean, this might not be expensive for some of y'all, but $5.79 is the cheapest gas station here in Scotts Valley. Wild to me. I remember being a kid and never, ever having an emotion attached to the number that I saw on the sign that posts the gas prices. Now as an adult, not so much. I definitely am not super stoked about how expensive gas is, but we're gonna stop and get gas and then head to the gym, and we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'll see you guys at the gym. It is not a Monday morning if we don't find debris in the gym. Moment of truth. Ah, yes. I mean, and on camera it doesn't really look that bad. It's just that it's a funnel. And then if you look at the rest of the gym, obviously spotless. Maybe it's just my fixation on things being clean, but I said it once and I'm gonna say it again. It might not be fun to have to vacuum up every time I come in here on a Monday, but I will miss it. All right, we're gonna break down some of these training movements. I'm going to be highlighting a few different key factors. So the first of this is going to be upright torso, which you're seeing right now. The second of which is gonna be that knee flexion. And then the third is gonna be that ankle dorsiflexion. So in lower body movement patterns, all of those are essential in creating these proper pathways. Right now you can see I'm keeping neutral knee path from this forward angle. And the only reason I'm able to do that is because I'm prioritizing the control over the joint through the full range of motion. Here we're moving to a decelerated step down, and the same thing's true. Neutral knee path. Knee's gonna stay over the middle of the foot. Here's a side view where you're gonna see that ankle dorsiflexion and knee over toe come into play again. This is a recurring theme for lower body training. Same thing's true for this split stance squat. Knee is over toe. I'm getting good forward knee path. I'm closing that ankle up, and then I'm driving through that foot to get up to a tall standing position at the end of the movement. So you're gonna see this shift to a front view, and it's gonna mimic that same decelerated step down skill. Keep the knee in the middle of the foot, control as we come down, push hard through the box as we come to a standing position. And then the last movement is this calf raise, and the same thing's true here in a more isolated fashion for that ankle. I'm gonna drop down, I'm gonna close that ankle joint up through ankle dorsiflexion, and then I'm gonna drive to the top. Just finished up with my last client of the day. Tough part with this job is that there are a lot of cancellations, and I had a cancellation for a training appointment that was scheduled for tonight at 5. It sucks. I don't think my clients view the job of being a personal trainer like this, but I think that a lot of other people may view it how I'm gonna describe it. But I've had people in the past tell me, hey, at least you get to get off early. And that was before I charged people for same day cancellations. And it was almost like the trade-off of like, you might not be making money, but at least you're not at work. And that is rough. That is part of the reason why I alluded to it in the first vlog, but I am definitely going to be switching careers. That doesn't mean that I'll discontinue fitness. I'm still gonna offer online coaching and still work with people in that capacity. But what I'm not gonna do is the in-person training, because it's so volatile in terms of the pay. And I guess a better way to describe it would be that the pay structure in terms of if somebody's out of town, they don't train, you just don't make money. You can't charge them. I guess you could charge them. I have no idea what business model that would be or who would agree to that payment program per se. You can't just charge people for not being there. So within personal training, the product that I'm selling is not being at the gym. The product is not the exercise. I've had to really adjust the way that I view my job and what I am packaging and providing people. And the conclusion that I've come to is that what I'm selling is my time. Therefore, I have made it abundantly clear to clients, and all of my clients are on the same page with me. I've had some people in the past not understand the idea that, you know, this is a livelihood and that I support a family, but my clients are very cool. I have worked with a lot of my clients for 6 months plus, some of them 3 years plus. The mindset around this job has just changed so much. I still love training people. I get fired up seeing people feel better, look better, perform better. That has not changed, probably will not change. I don't see myself not wanting to participate in people bettering themselves, but the capacity at which I'm involved with people directly definitely needs to change. I am going to be still online coaching, like I said, because I still want to be in that world. I think that fitness is something that I'm passionate about, and I think that I have an ability to relay information to people well. I'm personable enough that it's not awkward for people to train with me. So those are kind of like the primary skill sets. Obviously the knowledge, but that's a given. That's not even something that I even need to mention, but I make people feel comfortable. So I've done well with personal training. I've loved personal training, but at the end of the day, this channel is about growing and challenging myself. I am faced with a decision regarding my career. I've only ever done personal training, and I have worked my way up in terms of my initial personal training job was just a regular trainer, first time hire. I was doing the worst work that typically the newbie at a gym would have to do, doing free training sessions, trying to get people to bite, and really, you know, was taken advantage of. That first job, I remember I got a $12 paycheck for working a full week. That sucks, but it was a learning experience. I woke up at 4 in the morning to go unlock the gym. I trained people at 4:30 a.m. I learned what it was like to be at the bottom of the totem pole, and I left that job. I didn't even show up to quit because I was afraid that I would be talked into staying. Like, it'd be like, hey, it's gonna be different. I just did not show up again. And part of me regrets that. As you grow up, you kind of like look back at things and you're like, why did I do that? I should have gone in and said, I have an issue with this, blah, blah, blah. But I just didn't see it at the time as something that was gonna be a good idea for me, because I'm somebody who does not quit or stop things until they're done. And I think that I probably would have been talked into staying. Fast forward, after that first job, went to work with my mother-in-law and my wife. We were just dating at the time, but I worked as a personal trainer, worked my way up to being what would have been the head trainer, putting input in on the decisions that are made for the equipment that's bought, going over personal training clients, outcomes, problems and solutions and whatnot at team meetings. That gave me good experience in terms of more responsibility and less of a intro to training role. And then obviously going into owning my own facility, I was fast-tracked into that. But now I've come to the point where I'm like, holy moly, I can only get so many people to join. It's difficult. It's like in Santa Cruz County, people have money, but they're like house broke and they own homes, but it costs so much to live here, so they can't pay for anything else. And I do recognize that personal training is a luxury service, but I am at a point where I need to make a decision. So I am going to go into sales, go into something where commission is a possibility and I can be rewarded based off of my effort and have more security. So I've got more to talk about with that, but for right now, I'm leaving it with that. I'm excited for what the future holds, excited for a new challenge, and excited to take you guys with me.